Hello guys, OzMan here. So we've had an update. We matched Midwinters the day before the update dropped. I can't show you the Poetic Darkness War. We did get our asses smacked. That 10v10 beast clan. Shame about the replays. We didn't seem to have any attacks. Strange. Invictus Prime versus Midwinters. These guys are absolutely no slouch. Midwinters 237 wins. They are fair play, obviously. I want to say there was some XPWC. I can't remember the whole story behind Midwinters, but they've been around a while and they are no slouch. The war stats from this 3 stars was 26 to 24. It did come down to, I'd say, the last hour, and it was very close until Invictus Prime just pulled ahead by 2 in the last hour. As we lost a ton of attacks from this war to the sort of replay wipe, I'll show 4. We can start at the bottom. This is Yoshimitsu versus Johnny John. There's a lot of Johns there. So Queen walk in from 6 o'clock. This is an 84k base, so a fairly, I want to say fresh 10, but he's actually done what he should do, which is all his point defense, and everything except the big stuff has been upgraded. So he's still got expos at Town Hall 9 level, and he's just, I think those are level 1 Inferno Towers. So this is a sensible way to upgrade your base for war, so you stay relevant and you pull people that aren't going to wreck you when you can't wreck them. His king's still got a few levels to go. Anyway, Queen walk, 6 o'clock, gonna head in and pull the CC. There's some goblins in there. I'd assume there's something bigger coming out in a second, but she's gonna take on the enemy queen, and yet to see any external air traps. These guys did preempt the update a little bit better than us. I assumed it was gonna happen sort of in a few days' time rather than overnight. But there were some traps set outside the bases, which did wreck a few healers. So well played, Midwinters, for being on the ball. Queen's going to sort of get through, get the Inferno Tower, the first Inferno Tower, and he's already got his miners going anti-clockwise around the base with the king sort of taking out the external trash. Heal down for a big pack of miners. He's still got a couple of heals left in the bag. They should survive that double bomb. They're probably going to need another heal straight away. And these skellies around Inferno Towers are fantastic as they hold up the miners. So even in a heal, they're losing health. His queen has just gone. So it is. The king's probably going to live through most of this war. He's not going to take too much fire. The miners have got out in front, and they've only got probably about 4 or 5 defenses left to work on, and they've had a really good split. And once the expo goes down, that should spell the end of this base. A few minions down to help clean up. I was watching the miners take on the Inferno Tower, and I reckon the queen possibly lost all her healers to bombs, but I didn't see it. I shall watch it myself later. Next up, we had 14 Crazy Ass. It's an air attack. Brings 5 healers, so we're not quite scared of the bombs. This is a much, well, defenses in this one make it an 86k 10, but this is kind of the opposite. He's done his Infernos first, and some air defenses. So many ways to upgrade. I know GG and IP get grief for running sort of 0.5s, and people seem to think engineered bases are the same as a 0.5. They're not really. It's just sensible upgrading. There's so many clans out there at the moment. When Golden Goblin spins a random match, you'd be absolutely amazed how many very difficult matchups they get against clans that have properly engineered bases. Anyway, his queen has come in here from 9 o'clock. He's invested 2 rage spells to get in and take out 1 Inferno Tower, the enemy king, pull the CC, which is a baby dragon, and a P.E.K.K.A. This P.E.K.K.A. combination can be horrible for a queen walk. If he gets 2 swipes off, you are fucked. The jump spell's down. The king has cleared some trash with that Wizzy. I expect the 3 bowlers he's got left to come in here with the king. They're going to head towards the enemy queen, take out the second air defense, and then I would assume he can probably start his air portion of this attack. So bowlers behind the king. King is tanking, which is fantastic. Queen looks like she's going to stay alive for a while in this one, and the air portion has come in. So that hound's had to travel across. He's soaked up loads of traps. Inferno Tower is going to go down. Haste spell's pushing all those loons in quickly. And when he loses his second hound, he's got to rely now on his balloons to get through the rest of this base, because his third hound is about to pop to a Wizzy Tower up top. Maybe. At this point, he's got cleanup everywhere. That Tesla's done a bit of work, but it's probably about 8 loons left. We might even get that last hound to pop. So if anyone wants to share the backstory from Midwinters, I know at one point they were, I think, affiliated with WHF. I could be wrong. Someone tell me if I'm wrong. For some reason, I associate them a little bit with PWC, but that's probably very wrong. Let's watch Zoolander here on 13. So again, some level 2 miners and some healers. Hole in the base is probably the only mistake Midwinters made this whole war, is they ran a base with a hole in the middle. Just means that balloon went down pretty easy to poison, and the queen can sort of deal with this hound outside of the range of most of the defenses on the base. Baby dragon gonna help funnel her towards this Inferno Tower. So many different layouts. Well, I say so many. There's about 4 or 5 different layouts for sort of 10s and 11s in the way they're boxing off these Inferno Towers. This one is probably one of the tougher ones in terms of they get a couple of big storages around it. There's tons of space for traps. Unless he breaks in, he's going to need this jump spell to get in and take this Inferno Tower out. A jump spell it is. So meanwhile, he's dropped a few sort of trash clearing troops up top. Queen is going to get the first Inferno fairly easily. He's gonna rage her up, and I can't remember where he brings the king in. I think this was the one, yeah, where the attack was done like completely split heroes. King's gone for a little bit of a walk here. I'm pretty sure he wanted the king to go into the base. I could be wrong. And at this point he said fuck it, and the miners are on their way. Still got 2 heals and a rage. Queen is still doing work. She's stuck on the enemy king. But the miners are going to head quite swiftly into that sort of second Inferno Tower. They're under heal, but this double bomb spot. Had there been any skellies or something there, that might have ended quite differently. If they get stuck on skellies in Inferno tower compartments and then hit double bombs, it can be an absolute disaster for miners. But as much as Supercell seems to have slowed these down, they're still pretty OP at Town Hall 10. We're virtually on cleanup. Show one more, and then I think, to be fair, the rest of the replays are wrecked. Go number 7. Eye Temptation. These Infernos are a bit further buried in the base. Not going to be easy to snipe these with the Queen. She is going to come in from 9 o'clock. It's an air-based attack with some bowlers. This was a cleanup. I'd say we hit this base probably about 4 times. Very good base designs from Midwinters. Anyway, we're at 1 star, 8%. It's not a failed raid yet. And the Queen actually might get through and get this Inferno Tower. She will pull the CC. She's going to need a rage to push at this point. She's got to get through that storage, get through a Wizzy Tower, get onto the Inferno and probably use the ability quite quickly. And just in time before the Skellies hold her up. Taking fire from 2 Expos, 2 Archer Towers means that we need another Rage Spell. That balloon's got to go down. Again, like a P.E.K.K.A, if a balloon gets 2 shots off, you're toast. King's going to come in now from 6 o'clock, take out most of the trash. Going to get the second air defense in the enemy Queen. And we should see the air portion of this attack start. Only 2 hounds. So hound number 1, we're going to see targeted loons. There's the external traps. I think we tried to queen walk that side of the base and the healers got eaten. Those bowlers are doing massive work in this. Freeze down and the haste spell is going to push those loons straight onto that Inferno Tower. And as long as his hound up at 12 gets through that air defense, this is done. He's actually had his second hound pop. Just about perfect timing. He's still got tons of bowlers left. Normally don't expect those to live through the whole raid. They're just a bit sort of part of the push. I think I spoke a little too soon there. They did not live through the whole raid. That's all I can show you guys from this. Fantastic war. Midwinters, top class. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.